talking with John Lepo from Red Hat. He was just in a previous video talking about what structured data actually looks like and how it ties back to more or less a process or something that can be mapped. Now let's talk about what unstructured data. How do you define unstructured data? My understanding is it could be anything from a piece of paper that somebody wrote on and then stuck on a little machine and scanned in, to a video, to I don't know. You take it from there.
No, yeah, I think I think that's like the raw format. It's the things that are the easiest to kind of interact with in the real world. They're uh emails, text messages, like you said, videos, images, handwritten documents. I think
Narratives
emails and
in EHRs or Teams, those are two big ones that we deal with. The narrative, everybody putting everything in the narrative, and then you have to try to go mine that data out of a whole string of narratives.
yeah, exactly. And how you access and store that data can strongly influence your capacity to interact with it, right? Um, and then you have semi-structured data, which is a little different. It's like APIs and JSON and things like that. But no, see, from the unstructured side, free form, loosely organized, not necessarily like computer language, as far away from ones and zeros as you can get. More natural language, not necessarily fitting in the box type information.
Would
Um,
Markdown count as semi-structured? Because I've seen a lot of let's write this in Markdown because LLMs have a easier time navigating Markdown.
Yeah. Yeah, YAML, one very important automation tool, yet another markup language, very, very appropriately named. Semi-structured, leveraged to kind of bridge the gap between structured and unstructured data in some cases, or just, automate things.
Can I
But
ask a
no,
question on that front? So we're redoing all of, we have a ton of uh, SOPs and manuals and everything else from the last 10 years in our company. We're kind of using AI to go through and say, okay, what's irrelevant? What's a duplicate? What aligns with our, so once we have this one document that has everything updated in it, I thought we should probably also create it in Markdown for AI to be able to leverage, rather than having AI have to read through the way that we've separated the paragraphs, all the images that we put in there, and this and that. Is that a waste of time, or is that thinking in semantic layering for data architecture?
ooh, semantic layering. Yeah. Well, yeah, no. And see, this is where it gets tricky, right? As an ex like kind of project manager, where's like the end use case? What is sort of the end workflow? And how is that tool that's going to get you there um leveraging against that information? And so I think that would be tricky. That's a tricky question. That's a little bit of a trap, I think. At least for me.
Well,
Um
let's just say I have a Claude project, right, and I want it to help me. If I upload that manual in Markdown, it's going to have probably an easier time using that to create skills than it would if I uploaded just the made for human, is kind of where my
yeah.
thought's going.
Well, I think you do. I think one thing that you do eliminate is the possibility of hallucination, right? Because you're taking that data. Your highest probability of hallucination is if you give an LLM a task that they can't do with data they can't use. It'll just invent an answer, right? So
That's an
the
awesome way to
core.
frame it.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, we spent a lot of time trying to eliminate hallucinations. It wasn't my thought. We That was like the whole thing at Palantir was like we can never have hallucinations ever. And so how do we prevent things from hallucinating? And so there was like sort of this due diligence on the front end, which I once again feels very lost in current days, which is like, are we selecting the right tool for the right job? And then the next question was like, are we positioning the tool to be successful? Which as a coach was literally the question we would ask ourselves as coaches with the athletes. Are we giving athletes every tool they have to be successful? And are we positioning them to be successful? You know, we're asking them to get great grades and be great athletes. Are we giving them the tools to do those things? Because like athletes and large language models are very similar. They're very, very motivated to make you happy, right? They're very, very motivated to do something well. And if they can't do something well, they'll just lie about it. Um, for them, that with some exception, right? But that is, yeah. So as you move closer to things that are immutable, that can't be misunderstood, you begin to increase your success rate. Um, And I think the best coaches and maybe the best computer programmers and like low code practitioners are probably setting end expectations better than everyone else and
That's
positioning
awesome.
things to be the most successful on the front end.
But